evening, good to have you with us in the 9 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. Chennai continues to reel from the impact of heavy rainfall that battered the state and the city. The city is still witnessing waterlogging in several areas. Houses are flooded, leaving hundreds to take refuge in relief camps or remain stranded inside their own homes for days now. Since yesterday, 5 lives have been lost due to rains across the state. The state government announced a holiday on 10th and 11th November for schools and colleges across 9 districts, keeping in mind the heavy rain alert. Now, while in some parts of the city and state, people resorted to boats to commute from one place to the other. Can you imagine this? A city where you don't use the roads because any which ways they have potholes, but when it gets flooded, you actually use boats to move from one part to the other. Cars were seen completely submerged as the water level rose. I'm going to first play out a couple of these ground reports that we got for you from Chennai to show you the ground reality before we get into the conversation about what exactly is the problem and why is it that we are continuing to failing in addressing these problems. First up, here's a report from Kolathur, where residents have no option apart from wading through knee-deep water.
We are in GKM colony near the Peravallur police station in Kolathur constituency, and this remain is completely underwater for last 3 days. And what we are hearing from the locals is that so far, even after making repeated appeals to the Chennai Corporation, so far no corporation officials have reached here to pump out water is what we are hearing. And you can see I am in hip deep water, and the people who are in these areas are now being rescued with a boat here. People are very much confined to their residence here, and even the police personnel who are attached to this Peravallur police station making their way to the police station only with the help of the boat. And this is a residential area where thousands of people are living, but still you can see the kind of situation here, and the areas around this colony has been completely cut off to the other nearby areas, and people very much are in their home. They are not able to come out as there is a hip deep water. What we could hear from the locals here says that for last 3 days the situation remains the same, but now efforts are being taken to pump out the water. But we are seeing as the rains continue, the water in this area has not receded. The locals or the people who are staying in the apartment are very much confined to their residence. Even for their basic needs, they are now taking the assistance of the boat that has been operated by the locals and the corporations here.
That was the state of affairs in that locality, and it was continuing to rain, so you can imagine what would have happened in the hours subsequently. Here's another report from North Chennai's Jawahar Nagar, where residents were being shifted to rescue camps on a boat as water levels had increased.
Nagar in North Chennai, and the situation here is quite bad. We have been crisscrossing the entire city to understand the extent of water stagnation and flooding, and by far this is one of the worst affected areas that we've come to, and you can see how boats have also been deployed here by the Tamil Nadu Fire and Rescue Services team to take these people to the relief centers. They've all been affected. There's a baby here as well, so all of them being taken.
For the past 3 days we were suffering without any electricity, and there is no steps taken to remove the water from here. So it was so difficult to stay here for a long time, and we are trying to evacuate ourselves from here. So we'll be leaving now, and we are trying to do our best.
So, how difficult was it for you for the last 2-3 days? There was no power.
No power, and we have we were trying to clear our basic needs here, but we were trying to go from here and there. It wasn't possible, and the darkness is coming as early as possible in the evening, so we were unable to go out. And from yesterday we don't have water supply also. So we were struggling to stay here.
Did you file complaints with the corporation?
I had tweeted to CMO Tamil Nadu and Chennai Corporation, but I am aware they are trying to take some steps, but I am not sure whether they have taken, as I can see the situation right now.
So are you all now moving to a relief center?
We are moving now. We are moving now.
So clearly you can see from the visuals how this affected family, they are now moving out of this locality to a relief center. There's there's an infant on that boat as well. Clearly the situation on ground is quite concerning, and even though the Chennai Corporation says that they've deployed around 500 motors to pump out water, to drain out water, the situation in certain pockets like these is still very, very bad, and this is something that the authorities have to take note of.
Now, that is the ground reality. No matter the blame game, no matter what AIADMK or DMK or any other party or civic body and their officials say, it's the people who have to suffer at the end of it. People who suffered in 2015, in subsequent years where the deluge wasn't as bad as 2015, but was still difficult, and people who are suffering today as well, who've been stranded in their own homes for 2 days, 3 days with no electricity, no way to get out, no help coming in, and despite, of course, all the precautions that they are being asked to take. Once you're stranded, life comes to a standstill, and that is what you have to deal with. And as Chennai suffers, the state BJP chief thought this was a good opportunity to play politics. So a video emerged of the Tamil Nadu BJP chief, K. Annamalai, and his team preparing their photo opportunity, literally staging their photo op in rain-affected areas in the same region where we were reporting from, in Kolattur, while sitting on a boat. This video has now gone viral. A boat that could perhaps have been used for better purposes to actually rescue people or take immediate amenities to these people, food, water, medicines. But he instead chose to use this opportunity for a photo op. See.
அண்ணா ஒரே ஒரு போட்டோ இவங்க இக்காத மாதிரி ஒரே ஒரு எம்டி மட்டும் இருக்கு அண்ணா எல்லாம் இப்படி வந்துருண்ணே ராஜுல் ஒரு வைட் இது மாதிரி இதோட கட் பண்ணு பிரகாஷ் இப்படி வந்துருண்ணே இது ஒரு எம்டி இது ஒரு எம்டி ஒன்று எடு அப்டேட் எடு இங்கே வா இது ஒரு ஆங்கிள் எடு இப்படி கேட்குற மாதிரி ஒன்று எடு இப்படி கேட்குற மாதிரி ஒன்று அண்ணா 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 கொஞ்சம் பின்னாடிண்ணா அவர் தெரிய வேண்டாம் அது கடை உங்க கடையா கட்டு சாதிக்கா இல்லையா
இந்த கடையில எல்லாம் காலியா இருந்தா கூட மேல போயிருக்கலாம் அது யாருன்னு பாருங்க சரிங்க முதல்ல உங்களுக்கு பால் மாவு பாக்கெட் கொடுத்துருவாங்க
அண்ணா ஒரே ஒரு போட்டோ
Essentially, they're trying to get the fame right. They're trying to get nobody else in the frame except the politician to show how he waded through this water to go and help people and to meet people. They're actually planning what they're going to show, how they're going to show, and set it up. One would have hoped that they would have done all of this and used all of this energy and effort and thought into raising these issues and getting the problem fixed before monsoon hit Tamil Nadu and Chennai. One would have hoped that the BJP would have actually done this when their friend and ally AIADMK was in power in the state for 10 years. Or even this time with DMK in power. But to ask these questions, to do these kind of photo opportunities before and not when people start to suffer. What is it that should have been done and has not been done since 2015? The Mambalam Canal restoration project was one of those things that was decided and undertaken, still not completed. There was an entire drainage project that was announced in the process, still not completed. In another area, one of the famous localities of Chennai, in T Nagar, drainage project, some part of it done, status hasn't really helped in preventing waterlogging, worst hit areas again. What about the encroached water bodies? A big challenge for the city of Chennai. The fact that you've actually had all of this development and construction on encroached water bodies. Well, the desilting work not done. Removal of people and those entities from there not done, to the point that the High Court has today asked the questions on what it is that is being done. That's the question we are also asking. What is this that is being done, could have been done since 2015? And this year as well. Saravanan of the DMK joins me this evening. Muralidharan of an AIADMK supporter, T.S. Ramakrishnan, public policy expert, and G. Sundararajan, climate, environment and social activist, also joining me. And I want to start off with this season and this year, because Saravanan, we spoke to a lot of officials who said a lot of work was done in the 3 months in the run-up to this season. What was this work?
Yes.
And why is it that we are still seeing such drastic situation?
Yeah. See, we have anticipated this deluge. We have anticipated that the rainy season, if it's going to rain little above the normal, it's going to be messy. So from June 2021, the Corporation Commissioner, Mr. Gagandeep Bedi, he has been on the ground inspecting all the stormwater drains, finding out he has issued notice to almost around 23 contractors for them not fulfilling the obligations. And the desilting work in almost all the stormwater drains have taken place, and in the major river mouths, the desilting had taken place. We have conducted extensive review meetings as to what has happened, how to go about the entire issue, but all the best laid plans. Whatever we could do, whatever humanly possible by the government, we have been able to do that in the last 3 months. But the rain that was there on that one single night was huge, so huge that it was only comparable to what that has happened in 2015. And now this is, and the relief measures, immediately after that, the chief minister swung into action, and the entire cabinet, the officers and all the other DMK, MP, MLAs, everyone was there on the ground, ensuring that the people feel secure. The people does not get despondent that there is nobody for them, nobody for them. So that is the way the DMK government has proactively acted. Even now, every day in the last 3 days, the chief minister is there on the ground, ensuring that whatever that could be done, because whenever he goes there, almost for 8 to 9 hours, he is there, and ensuring that the bureaucracy does not lag behind, and they follow.
Saravanan, I understand what you're saying, and it is important for at least those in power and government officials to be visible, to at least give that sense to people, and I'm hoping it's, you know, beyond what the BJP state chief did. But my question to you was not that. My question to you is, before this, in the first 6 months that you've been in power, before the monsoons, how much of stormwater drain cleanage did take place? How much of the desilting work was done? How many questions were asked of the civic body and, you know, water department officials of what is being done?
Yes, Tanvi. See, we have been in power for the last 6 months. The first 2 months, you know, had gone with the COVID, and of course, the next few months for vaccination. But still, I said I started with this June 2021 timeline. That is when we swung into action. The Corporation Commissioner swung into action. The entire length of the stormwater drains, he exuded confidence. He said almost some 120 places where there were inundations earlier. He felt that after this desilting work, there won't be inundations in so many places. That was the confidence that has been exuded by him. But if we go back, if you're not going to take that just this 3 months, see, if you look at the kind of money that has been spent in the last 5 years, it is 3,000 crores. 3,000 crores for stormwater drains, and where it went? Down the drains. If they had spent, the ADMK government had at least spent 300 crores constructively, properly for the stormwater drains, and to find out what has happened, where the alignment is and how they've done it properly, Chennai would not have faced this kind of a stagnation. From 2015, after the huge rains in 2015, the focus has shifted. This should not happen again. And a lot of money has been pumped in, lot of schemes. Integrated Stormwater scheme, the Smart City scheme, CDC scheme, lot of schemes and lot of World Bank. Everybody have pumped in the money. But all the money has gone to the pockets of the ADMK ministers. That is the reason why Chennai is deluged. There is no other reason. And if we look at the way they have conducted themselves, in 2018, they said they spent around 300 crores just before the monsoon for the preparatory work, but there is no visible result.
Okay.
And the CAG has pulled up the ADMK government.
Yeah.
You have not done it properly. You have done it in the wrong alignment. You have wasted the public money. So for the just giving contracts, just to get commission and contracts, the ADMK government has made Chennai city suffer these floods. The blame has to squarely.
Year after year, not a new story. Year after year, this has happened, and I thought, Muralidharan, it was mighty convenient for some of the AIADMK leaders to actually protest against DMK and their handling of the situation without taking responsibility for the state of affairs after being in power for 10 years.
Tanvi, when you are in deep soup, you can start pointing fingers. We spoke about Annamalai, who's doing a photo up there. But if you look at Mr. Stalin, ever since he came to power, he's only doing photo shoots. Not just him, the entire, cabinet is doing today. What has been doing? This Kolattur you spoke about, Kolattur belongs to whom? For last 10 years, he is the MLA, Mr. Stalin. So what are we talking here? What is Mr. Saravanan trying to brush under the carpet? So let him answer all that. And you can call foul.
You do realize living in a city, Mr. Muralidharan, you do realize living in a city that cleaning up one locality is not going to help that locality if the rest of the city is going to drown and sink. You do realize that it's not about being in a deep soup, it is actually knee-deep water and waist-deep water, and worse, that the people of Chennai are suffering while leaders of BJP are nicely doing a photo opportunity, removing people from their frame such that it looks of how he is facing the hardships of the common man to go and meet them. Where was this, Mr. Annamalai, when actually questions had to be asked about what was done? Where was he the last 10 years asking the same questions to the AIADMK government?
Whose constituency is this? You're talking about Kolattur. Kolattur belongs to the chief minister. I mean, at least that part they could have done it properly. Forget the
I just said, you do realize that is not how infrastructure really works in a city.
Tanvi, listen, I do understand. A state government which blames squirrels for the frequent power cuts ever since they resumed office. The power cut was a joke in their period. We've been talking about so many times. So when they resumed office, when there are frequent power cuts, the minister comes and says there are too many squirrels on the electrical wires. That's why power cuts are happening. This is the kind of lame excuses they are used to. Kolattur is one area. The other area is the T Nagar, which is very next to the Ariwale DMK office. Why have they not done anything there? Last 3 days, people are underwater. They should have done something to remove the water from there. I know it's stagnation. I know the entire desilting is not done.
Yeah.
Last 3 months, they were doing only photo ops. They failed in neat promises. They have failed everything. See, the Mullai Periyar Dam was opened by Kerala government without the permission of Tamil Nadu government. What else can you say?
Let him talk.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I have 2 other panelists to go to. There is not going to be any yelling on this show, Mr. Muralidharan. You know this. No yelling is allowed. No overlap is allowed. You've made your point. Let Saravanan respond to it. Yes.
See, the question what you asked is a very relevant question. Now, the BJP leader, Mr. Annamalai, has the temerity to question the DMK government. What have you done? I have told you what we have done in the last 3 months, how the corporation commissioner is being a role model, and he is a known man to handle all these kind of things, and he has done his best. And the question that has to be asked by the BJP leadership is, why were they silent when all these things happened? This is not, I have all the paper cuttings from 2018, 2019, 2017, corporation to spend 300 crores on stormwater drains. And the another report says, be ready to face flooded rivers. Even after spending so much of money, 3,000 crores spent. How Chennai Corporation sent rupees 50 crores down the drain. These are all newspaper reports. I'm not making up anything. These are all newspaper reports from 2015 to 2021. So why nobody is questioning the ADMK? See, the thing is this, right now, we are determined.
That's why you're showing up on this.
I did not speak when you were speaking. Can you shut up for some time?
Spoke, that's why I had to react.
No, stop it. Allow me to continue. So, when the ADMK government was not able to deliver on its promises, it's not even promises, they've swindled 3,000 crores. I'm not making up this sum. 3,000 crores is the actual money that is spent on stormwater drains alone. Why am I emphasizing this? Because prior to 2015, this kind of amount was never spent on stormwater drains and flood mitigation. The flood mitigation came into focus after 2015. And that is why. So this is the real reason for the heartburn. Now everybody is questioning. And on top of all this, the chief minister, the erstwhile chief minister and the opposition leader now has the temerity. He is saying what Mr. M.K. Stalin did when he was the mayor in 1996 and 2005. So that is the kind of response.
Okay, allow me to go to two of our experts who are joining us right now. Mr. Ramakrishnan, good evening to you. Let's also talk about what the core issue is that Chennai faces. There are 2 or 3 key factors: stormwater drains, encroachment of lakes, and the corruption that exists over there, that is adding and making it worse. Apart from, of course, like any other metro city, unplanned, unabated development without proper exit for the water being the other one. Now, how do we tackle and where are we failing to your view?
First of all, this is not an issue pertaining to Chennai alone, because you have been doing it for Chennai, because Chennai is the capital city of the Tamil Nadu, and that is why. It has been there all over. Trichy is also heavily flooded. There are many other cities which are heavily flooded. First of all, the problem is not something new. It has been accumulating over the last 50 years. It has been becoming bad and then worse, and then now it has become worst. Because for the last 50 years, 1,000 lakes have disappeared from Tamil Nadu. 1,000 lakes. And most of the water bodies have been converted to bus stations. High Court, Madurai branch of the Chennai Madras High Court is very much in the water body. And then other public utilities. And all the pathways towards lakes and tanks have been encroached upon by various agencies, including the government agencies, private agencies, housing houses, and things have come to a standstill now. Even now what has happened is, with just one day heavy rain, the entire city can reach a level where you can't solve it. And doing something after the flood has happened, something like providing food relief is like trying to cure the disease after the disease has occurred. This will occur again and again. If not occur to next year, it will occur after 5 years, and it will occur after some more years. So this is actually the main problem. So there is no political will on the part of the government, any government for that matter, not this government, that government, any government, to remove the encroachments, because the encroachments removal is big political has a big political fallout. So they don't want to do that, and as a result, what is happening is this will continue, and the mudslinging will happen forever, and the people will be suffering a lot. And last time in 2015 floods, Chennai alone lost 550,000 crores, both public as well as private assets. This time we don't know, because only one part of the rain is over. Now it is expected that tomorrow and day after tomorrow there are going to be rains, heavy rains. So only after that it will be known. And unless otherwise such kind of cleaning up, what I'm saying is creating the water bodies and desilting it, and not only just water bodies, all the way up to the water bodies, which are being completely encroached upon. And only if they do that, then it will take a lot of years, and it requires a lot of political will. You may lose the power,
right?
But you have to do it,
right?
But I don't think. I'm not sure whether it will happen or not. But let us wait and see.
That is the biggest challenge and one of the biggest factors. You've really highlighted the right point, which is that there needs to be political will. Mr. Sundararajan, there needs to be political will to make these changes, irrespective of which party it is. Once the encroachment has happened, nobody wants to touch it, nobody wants to acknowledge it, maybe a little bit here and there just to show that, yes, we're going to make these changes. But leave it. Should we just accept that then this is going to be the reality for the people of Chennai or any other big metro city that suffers from this problem?
Absolutely. Chennai is a beautiful city. We have been endowed with 4 rivers. For the North Chennai, we have got the Araniyar, Kochalayar. For Central Chennai, we have got Kuvam. For the South Chennai, we have got Adayar. And below down, if you go Palar and Kovalam, there are 4 rivers. And there is a Buckingham Canal which connects all these 4 rivers. Other than these 4 rivers, we have got 50 major canals. Cotton Canal, Virugabakam Canal, Mambalam Canal. Like this, there are 50 major canals. And there are 542 streams. So when rain falls down, the smaller streams take the water to the larger canals. The larger canals take the water to the rivers, and the rivers take water to the seas. So this is a nature-endowed drainage system for Chennai. We have completely destroyed in the last so many years. And that is one side. And on the other side, whatever stormwater drains that we have built over the last few decades, it's completely inadequate. And when you see a tender that is being called for to build a stormwater drain for Chennai, you will see you'll have to build a stormwater drain for 2.5 meters depth. Then where is your elevation? Have you ever done an elevation map for Chennai? And do you know which are the points which are high in elevation, which are low lying areas? Do you have a map for that? No, we don't have. So we have simply seen in the last 5 years alone, about 6,770 crores sorry, is spent on flood mitigation.
Yes.
Where has this money gone? I'm sorry.
Mr. Sundararajan, I can give you a couple of minutes to just drink some water and take a deep breath, and we'll come back to you on that aspect. Let me ask Saravanan until then. Saravanan,
yes.
Political will needed to deal with encroached water bodies.
Yeah. Tanvi, when we speak about water bodies, the question that comes in everybody's mind is, how long are we going to go back? Are we going to go back 10 years? Are we going to go back 50 years? Are we going to go back 100 years? If we're going to go back 50 years, I think the entire city itself has to be, demolished. And the famous area, the most popular area in the city, Nungambakkam, Mambalam area, that is built on a lake. So how long are we going to go? So I don't think that is going to be the most viable solution. Just you remove encroachments, of course, ensuring that there are not going to be any encroachments is the first step. We have come here and we will ensure that there won't be any more encroachments. And this awareness about the ecology, this awareness about the environment is of a recent origin. Probably it has gained so much of ascendance in the last 10 years. And therefore, it is necessary that we have to stop it. We have to stop all these encroachments. But the question that has to be asked is, how long are we to go back to remove these encroachments? And if that is the only solution, if there is no other way, definitely the government will do it. This government will do it.
So who's going to decide it and how, Saravanan? It has to be a government in part that takes in all the stakeholders, speaks to the experts, speaks to those who are impacted and figure out a scheme.
Yes, you are right, Tanvi. See, this cannot be done by any single body or any single person. This has to be done in a scientific manner. This has to be done after getting all the experts, weighing in all the experts, and then only this could be done. So until then, we'll have to see how best we could save the city.
And then until then we're only talking about bringing in more water pumps and more JCBs and more boats.
No, Tanvi. I just want to get in here. See, prior to 2015, even earlier, Chennai had a very good network of the stormwater canals, stormwater drains. See, 2015, the focus shifted that you please find a way. I'm saying, see, the way the ADMK government demolished the old stormwater drains, they started constructing new stormwater drains. Everything was misaligned. That is the reason for this misery. It is no other reason. What they should have done is, they should have improved the existing system, earlier system. And yet another criticism that is coming constantly is that this stormwater drains have not been aligned in a scientific manner. They have not been done with the help of the experts. This has been done just to ensure that the contractors benefit and the concerned ministers benefit. That is how it was operating. That is the reason. That is the biggest problem.
Okay, let me bring in our experts on this. And Mr. Ramakrishnan wanted to make a point. Yes, Mr. Ramakrishnan, to what Saravanan was saying.
No, it is not possible for any city or for that matter any state to go back 100 years.
Correct.
Okay, so that is not possible. But if you look at all the three rivers, Kuvam, Adayar as well as Kosastalai, three rivers, they have been encroached like anything by both sides, as well as the path towards, the rivers as well as path towards the, bodies as well as path towards the water bodies as well as to the lakes, to the rivers have been completely encroached. That is the reason why the water is logging in the city streets. So unless otherwise, it is not just about desilting. let us actually, I mean, even if there are lakes, even if the lakes are desilted, if the paths towards the lakes, paths towards the rivers, and the rivers are not, I mean, brought back to their original size, even if it means you demolish the buildings of the state governments, private institutions, and then housing, it should be done. Otherwise, it will become extremely, I mean, it will be a catastrophe year after year, or at least every once in 4 or 5 years. And Chennai will become unlivable city. So that is what it is. It is not about going back to 100 years. That is not possible. So at least let us, I mean, do the present, even for doing the, correcting the present situation, it requires a lot of political will. I'm not talking about any political party as such.
Right.
I'm just referring to it requires, because you may lose the election also.
Yeah.
But are they going to do it or not? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're saying it can be done. You don't need to go 100 years back or 50 years back even to look at that, to even solve the basic of the problem. The other aspect that Saravanan was raising, and I'll take that to Mr. Sundararajan. Mr. Sundararajan, do finish your point, and also let's talk about the drainage and the canal system that existed, and if we were not able to then keep up with the pace, and that's something that we can look at.
Yeah, see, I would like to say that, in the last 5 years, the budgets have been allocated to the tune of about 6,770 crores. Where has this money gone? And you know what? We Tamilians are, we celebrate rain. Tirukkural used to call rain as nectar. And we had a Silappadigaram which was praising rain like anything. But today, after 2015, our people are afraid about rains, which was never heard of. So, even see, what do we do now? Okay, 2015 gone, 2019 gone, 2021 gone. So what do we do now? The first thing that we have to do is we have to drop the plan of expanding Chennai further. The government has announced Chennai Master Plan 3, which will include the areas of Kanjipuram, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur, and the Arakkonam Taluk. It's 8,500 square kilometers of megapolis. See, there are about 4,100 water bodies still remaining in the upcoming, supposed to be annexed areas of Chennai. So if the city has to develop, we'll have to destroy these water bodies. So first thing, Chennai has got a carrying capacity. Every city has got a carrying capacity. I think Chennai now holds 2 or 3 times more than its carrying capacity. We should develop areas outside Chennai. We should think about developing the central parts of Tamil Nadu, southern parts of Tamil Nadu, western parts of Tamil Nadu, the Delta district, wherever possible. So Chennai has to, say that, no further expansion of Chennai city limits. That has to be the primary thing, because the Chennai Master Plan 2 or Chennai Master Plan 1 did not solve the purpose of whatever things that, plus climate change is, bringing in short duration, extreme rainfall. 15 days back, we had a cloud burst in Marina. About 10 centimeters of rainfall happened in about half an hour's time. Imagine a Chennai city which has completely destroyed its natural drainage system and completely built stormwater drains very unscientifically. Will we be able to tolerate such a heavy rainfall, which is going to be the new normal due to climate change? So I think we need to revisit the entire thing of urban planning, ecosystem. And, for us to remove encroachers from the sides of the rivers would be only the people who are the marginalized people. We can remove them easily and throw them away in some 30, 40 kilometers away in Kannagi Nagar. But we will not touch the, shopping malls. We will not touch the Chennai's airport secondary runway is deep inside Adayar River, 400 meters inside Adayar River. So how do we allow this? So if we allow this to continue, then you can never save. I'm not saying you demolish everything tomorrow, but you need to have a concept of floodplains. In Western countries, in other countries, there's a concept of floodplains. So the floodplains are calculated based on 100 years of floods. So they will not allow encroachment to happen in that floodplains. It may not be useful for 49 years, but on the 50th year, it will be useful when there's an extreme rainfall event. So we need to understand what is ecosystem, what is a river, what is floodplain, river bed, whole bunch of things. Our planners need to put climate change at the center of any planning that we would do in the coming years.
And may I say this, Mr. Sundararajan, what you're saying, every expert who understands this, who's been on our conversations, whether we've debated about Mumbai, whether we've debated about Bengaluru, whether we've debated Hyderabad, or any other big metro city, even the national capital now witnesses similar things, talks the same. experts know it. The knowledge, the awareness, the information is not available. But somehow we are still seeing instances of modern development, big projects taking place in areas where they shouldn't. Airports have begun to flood now. Now the airport officials turn around and tell us that, oh, we've never seen something like this before. Maybe it's climate change. But climate change is something you need to start factoring in, especially if you're building your airports over rivers, encroaching that land, and then building your housing societies and your other infrastructure. That doesn't get factored in. Mr. Muralidharan, the question that is also being asked here is, year after year, after 2015, thousands of crores of funding was announced. What happened to that? Where did all that money go?
You spend another 2,000 crores also, nothing is going to be solved, Tanvi. Simple reason is, there are a couple of reasons. Just listen to me. You gave around 5 minutes. You don't even give me 2 minutes. First point is, Chennai is below sea level. Most of the part is sea level, so are below sea level. So it's going to have this inundation perennially. 2, climate change is bringing in such rains. We are not prepared. It is not just Chennai alone. It is Bangalore, it's Bombay, it's Manhattan. You take New York, you take Louisiana. You have floods everywhere in almost all the capital cities. This is what's happening with climate change. Even there was an article, 2 days back about why Chennai is reflecting so much on the climate change part. Now, improving Chennai or going around and demolishing, trying to recover all your drainage systems or your canals, it's not going to work because you already you destroyed most of them. So you need to build new cities like, New Chennai or Navi Mumbai or, Gurgaon. It's something like that. You have to build something away from the city. That's going to be the solution. Second solution is, you look in terms of, other avenues like, it's like, we can keep pointing fingers at each other and saying that, you spend 10,000 crores, you spend 20,000 crores, nothing has happened. It's not going to solve the problem. The problem is, understanding what's going to be the future and acting according to that.
I agree with you partially when you say that we need to look at, not expanding the same cities beyond a point because they cannot take the burden. But to say that money and thousands of crores will not help in resolving some of these issues is not right. And you have to think about the people who live in these cities who will have to continue bearing this day year after year after year when things can be fixed, when there is technology, when there is expertise available. There are experts sitting here who definitely know a lot more than any of us do, and they are saying it is possible. So to say, oh, climate change has happened, what can we do, doesn't work. Climate change is also a reality that has been around for a while. Ask any expert, they will tell you, you should have started planning your infrastructure development and expansion, keeping climate change in mind when you make those designs, which you haven't done. Mr. Ramakrishnan wants to come in. Yes.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely right. Because nowadays, every infrastructure, whether it is city is also an infrastructure, airport, railway station, bus station, offices, buildings, everything, power stations, everything. So you need to check whether it is climate resilient. When I say climate resilient, it should, whether it is heavy rain or whether it is a heavy cyclone, it should come back to functioning within a shorter period. It cannot, be paralyzed for 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, and that is not the very purpose of developing infrastructure. So climate change is a given. We are not responsible for that. Only the developed countries have made it like that. But we are facing that negative externality imposed by them on us. And we have to develop our infrastructure. We have to develop our cities. We have to do everything possible in the given circumstances. That's all.
Yes, in the given circumstances. I am out of time, but Mr. Soundararajan, you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, I would just like to say that don't hide behind climate change.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Rainfall is there, but we can easily handle this. We had 45 centimeters of rainfall in 2005, but we never got such kind of flooding in then because at least to some extent our natural drainage system was there. So don't try to hide behind climate change is what I want to tell.
And as I thank all of our panelists for joining me on this conversation, I just want to highlight, two sets of visuals that came in. Apart from all the visuals of the struggle and the misery and what the people of Chennai were facing, 2 sets of visuals that show you the dirty politics, how netas don't care about anything else. In one set, you will see AIADMK party members protesting They're actually protesting against how this government has opened up the dam and not thought about the farmers. They're not protesting about the fact that people are suffering, on that their own government failed for 10 years to fix this problem or any other problem related to people's lives, which is why they are out of power. On the other side is their ally, BJP, and their state chief, creating a photo op, found himself a nice boat to go into hip-deep water, sit there and pose to show how much he cares about people. This is what politicians do. While you suffer, while you remain stranded inside your houses, while your children are unable to go to school, while you don't have electricity, you have to figure out your own food and amenities every year. Make an emergency plan. Keep an emergency kit. Because this is what life is, while politicians are busy doing this. Thank you for joining us.